All right guys, welcome back to Drive It Out. My name is Adam and we are at the SEMA Show 2021 here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Super excited to be here. We've gotten so much great footage of so many vehicles and some awesome products here this week, but this is one that I've been waiting to do. I'm super excited about. Guys, this is the new Z car. It's something that we've been waiting on a long time. And I tell you what, I don't think this one is gonna disappoint. I'm a big fan of this car. I'm a big fan of this color, but there are some things on it specifically that I wanna talk about. So first of all, now you know the powertrain has changed. So we got a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6 in here now, right? So we're talking 400 horsepower. Now, if you're gonna get all that power and do all that, you gotta have a big inlet up here, right? For some breathing, but I tell you what, they've really squared off this thing in the front. And some people aren't quite sure how they feel about it, but I gotta tell you, seeing it in person, live and in the flesh, it's growing on me. I'm kinda starting to really dig it. But what I do wanna say is that they've done so much to this chassis to change it up from what this car has been. So you're talking about a retuned chassis, you've got beefier brakes, obviously the powertrain has changed, as we've talked about. Now you've got electronic power steering in this car. So this car has launch mode. You know, that's kind of all new for this Z car. I tell you what, this thing is really nice, but you gotta know that the reason my heart just loves this car is because it still offers a manual transmission. So you can get a really good 6-speed manual transmission in this car, staying true to the heritage of this brand. But if you want, you can also get a 9-speed automatic transmission. But just to talk about the design of this car, you know, the silhouette, you may look at it and you think it doesn't look too much different than the previous generation, the 370Z. But I tell you what, if you know the car, that's kind of the point. This is a great formula, right? This layout works really well. And I tell you what, if you've driven one before, if you've driven a past Z car, you know what they're all about. And something about being low slung and down in here, if you think of the way this 370Z is and how planted that chassis feels, you've got to have high expectations for this one here. So if you want to come over with me, I'm actually going to get inside. Let's take a look at the interior. They've done a really good job of matching things up inside with what's going on outside. So they've got the accents on the seat here that you see, and they've kind of run those all over the interior. You've got the shift boot there and some other areas, but I tell you what, let's actually see if we can get inside here and take a look. If you want to switch behind me here. Yep, so when you sit in here, you instantly are feeling like you're in a Z car, right? You're down inside, you do not sit up on top of a Z car, you sit down in a Z car, and this is really awesome. It feels really good. I'm super excited to drive this eventually and really see how it feels, but I have to say the upgrades they've done on the interior here are stellar. This is really light years ahead of the interior on the 370Z. But this car is fantastic. You know that this 6-speed manual transmission is going to feel great. I love the way they've kept the gauges up here on the dash. There's so much about the styling on this car that stays true to the heritage of this car. So let's look at one more thing you may recognize. Let's go to the back. Look what they've done with the styling on the back of this car. You can tell that it definitely calls to the history of this car. Look at those taillights. I think they've done a really nice job. And I want to draw attention to the black roof and how far they brought it down here, down the back, and what that really does to the sleekness of the vehicle. But I wanted to make sure I gave you guys a view of this car before we were done here at the SEMA Show, because it's just one of my personal favorites. You know, in a world where it's getting harder and harder to find a rear-wheel drive sports car, and then on top of that, a manual transmission, I really think you got to look at the Z car. And now you're not naturally aspirated, you're turbocharged. So I'm interested to see what that's like. But I want to tell you, thank you so much for watching this video. You've obviously found us on YouTube. We are on Instagram at Drive It Out. I am on Instagram at Naturally Aspirated Adam. It's been a great time here at SEMA. We've had great experiences. We've seen great cars. We've talked to great people. And I really think if you want to see what it's like what really is going on here at SEMA, it's a very unique auto show. It's more unique than any other auto show maybe that you are familiar with. There's so much to see. Check out those videos too. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.